second order system and its time response. In a previous lecture, we have studied first order system. Normally, a first order system is RC system and connected with VI. It may be step input, it may be ramp input, RC. Output is V0, it is first order. If we connect another RC, it becomes second order. So two capacitors and two resistors connected series becomes second order system. Its Laplace transform output will be equation given in a figure in the following equation. Second order has a normal standard equation like this: omega n square upon s square in s square plus zeta omega n into s, where omega n is the frequency in radians per second and g in the system. From where this equation has arisen? I told you just before that in a RC system, if I have V in, then resistor in series, capacitor in parallel and V0 at the output side, that means a RC system connected and corresponding output is taken, that is a first order system. Or let us say RC phase shift in using op-amp or RC phase shift using operational amplifier. If there are two resistors and two capacitors, that system becomes a second order system. At the denominator, there you will find S plus pole P1 and S plus pole P2. So, such type of equation arises from a second order amplifier, second order filters, low pass filter, high pass filter, it may be any type of filter. So this system or order of the system is coming from amplifier, then filters, attenuators, like this. This is a standard equation we have taken for the consideration. So standard equation is C of S upon R of S is equal to omega n square upon S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square. This is a second order system. Say, in this, zeta is damping ratio. Every system has a tendency to oppose oscillatory behavior of the system. This tendency of system is called a damping. Damping is measured by a factor called damping ratio. This damping ratio is denoted by Greek symbol as given in the figure. So, zeta measures opposition by the system to the oscillatory behavior. Now, zeta has different values. One is, it is greater than 1. Second case, it is equal to 1. Third case, it is between 0 to 1. And lastly, it will be 0. That means such 4 types of cases we will learn in today's topic. If zeta is equal to 0, that means there will not be a damping, or it is naturally damped. So the characteristics equation of second order system becomes s square plus omega n square is equal to 0 if damping factor is 0. Now in a given figure 2.27, whose input is R of S and corresponding output is C of S, gain G of S is equal to 20 upon S plus 2 into S plus 4. H of S is equal to 1, unity considered here. Now find out damping factor and natural frequency of damping. If I compare this, C of S upon R of S is equal to 20 upon S plus 2 into S plus 4 divided by 1 plus 20 upon S plus 2 into S plus 4. This equation of transfer function has arisen from natural equation of G of S upon 1 plus G of S into H of S. By solving or simplifying this same equation, we will get that 20 upon S plus 2 into S plus 4 plus 20. So C of S upon R of S is equal to 20 upon S square plus 6S plus 28, which is equal to 20 upon S square plus 6S plus 28, which is equal to 20 upon S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square, where omega n square is equal to 28, and so omega n is equal to square root 28, which is equal to 5.29 radian per second, to zeta into omega n is equal to 6. So zeta is equal to 0.6, damping ratio is 0.56, natural frequency of oscillation is 5.29 radian per second. Now what is the effect of damping ratio on response of second order system if input is unit step input? Normally there are three different types of input. One is step input, ramp input, and then next one is last one, which is given as a impulse. A parabolic input is also there. So these are four types of inputs that we can apply. For second order system, C of S upon R of S is equal to omega n square upon S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square. For unit step input, R of S is equal to 1 of S, that we know because R of t is equal to 1 and its Laplace transform is given as 1 upon S. So response of C of S becomes omega n square upon S into bracket S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square. For calculating C of t, we find roots of equation S square plus 2 zeta omega into S plus omega n square. So it has two roots by applying equation minus b plus or minus b square minus square root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. By applying this equation, we will get C of S is equal to omega n square upon S into bracket S plus zeta omega n plus omega n into square root zeta square minus 1 S into bracket another bracket S plus zeta omega n minus omega n into square root omega n zeta square minus 1. Because roots are S12 is equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus square root zeta square minus 1. Calculate response for different values of zeta. 1 is less than zeta less than infinity. It is also called overdamped system. S12 is equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus omega n square root zeta square minus 1. Roots are real, negative and unequal. So C of S is equal to omega n square upon S into bracket S plus S1 into S plus S2. If I have overdamped system, then C of S becomes A upon S plus B upon S plus 1, C upon S plus 2, and its output, if I take a Laplace inverse transform, its output will be C of t is equal to a plus b into e raised to minus s1t plus e raised to minus s2t, which is equal to CSS plus CT. So C of t is equal to b e raised to minus s1t plus b c into e raised to minus s2. Transient response is exponential from this above equation. If I plot that equation, it will look like following figure. C of t is equal to g if zeta is equal to 1, if zeta is equal to 2, if zeta is equal to 4. That means if I have a overdamped system, zeta is equal to 4, and if zeta is equal to 2, immediately it will try to settle. If zeta is equal to 1, still immediately it will try to settle. Such type of system is called overdamped system. Up to 1, it is called overdamped system. When zeta is equal to 1, it is critically damped system, because it is a standard format. After that, from 1 to infinity, it is overdamped. Less than 1, it is underdamped, and that's why at zeta is equal to 1, it is called critically damped system. S1 and S2 is equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus square root omega n into square root zeta square minus 1. S1 and S2 already we have calculated in the previous one. That's why it is so. Substitute zeta is equal to 1 in the above equation, we get S1 is equal to minus omega n and S2 is equal to minus omega n. So these are equal roots lies on omega n on the S axis. So C of S is equal to omega n square upon S into bracket S plus omega n bracket square. Here S is arrived from unit step input. As it is unit step input, S is there. So C of S is equal to A upon S plus B upon S plus omega n square plus C upon S plus omega n. This is another type of solving partial fraction expansion. If there are S square bracket square, then B is divided by bracket square and C is divided by 1 bracket. Taking inverse Laplace transform, we get C of t is equal to A plus Bt into e raised to minus omega n into t plus Ct e raised to minus omega nt, which is equal to CSS plus Ct. So this is again exponential charging Bt into e raised to minus omega nt, but it has standard value omega n. So below that there will not be any oscillation, or above that it will not be settled. This is critical, means it is a boundary level. Below this you will find if damping ratio is more, it will be overdamped or it will not charge immediately. And if we go beyond below this critically damped, it will be oscillating nature. We will see that oscillating nature in the next part, that is underdamped system. So this type of the previous one, the figure 2.29 shows critically damped system. Okay, because zeta is equal to 1. This is just like a boundary. If there is water on one side and if there is land on another side, boundary is called critically damped, or that is called boundary. And so water is separated from land, like this is critically damped. Now if it is an underdamped system, how will be oscillations? If we solve this equation, oscillations will be like 2.30 figure. If it is critically damped, then there will not be such type of oscillations in the system. And if it is overdamped, there will not be such type of oscillations in the system. System will smoothly reach to unity. But if it is underdamped, then system will not smoothly reach to unity. It will oscillate first and then try to reach to the unity, because input is unit. Under this underdamped system, S12 is equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus square root omega zeta square minus 1. By placing 0 to 0.021, we rearrange the roots as minus zeta omega n plus or minus j omega n into square root 1 minus zeta square. So these roots are complex. Here zeta square minus 1 becomes complex because it is zeta is less than 1, that's why root becomes complex. So S12 is equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus j omega d, where plus or minus j omega n into square root 1 minus zeta square is equal to omega d. Omega n into square root 1 minus zeta square is equal to omega d. Roots are complex conjugate with negative real part, so omega d is given as follows. It is called damped natural frequency. Omega d is called damped natural frequency. So C of S is equal to omega n square upon S into bracket S plus zeta. By putting roots, we will get this equation, right? C of S is equal to omega n square upon S into bracket S plus zeta omega n minus j omega d S plus zeta omega n plus j omega d. By solving this equation, we get A upon S plus Bs plus C upon S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square. And taking inverse Laplace transform, we get C of t is equal to 1 minus e raised to zeta omega n into t divided by square root 1 minus zeta square and sine. CSS is equal to 1. The response is oscillatory, but sine term is multiplied by E. Oscillatory but sine term is multiplied by E means it is decaying. Sine is multiplied by exponential decay, that means it is decaying. E raised to minus zeta omega n into t factor. So amplitude of oscillations decreases as time increases. Such oscillations are called damped oscillations. Response of system is shown in figure 2.30. So for overdamped oscillation, response is smooth. For critically damped oscillation, still critically damped, response is smooth. As soon as it crosses critically damped oscillation, this system tries to oscillate. As zeta increases, time required to reach steady state value decreases. If zeta is equal to 0, undamped system will be there. Characteristics equation S square plus 2 zeta omega n into S plus omega n square is equal to 0. By substituting zeta is equal to 0, we get S square plus omega n square is equal to 0. So S1 and S2 is plus or minus j omega n. Under this undamped oscillation system, it is roots are complex. Roots are purely imaginary. Complex in the sense there will not be any real part, and so it is completely imaginary portion. So if I put these roots into first equation, Ct becomes 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega n t upon square root 1 minus zeta square into sine of this factor, that is sine of omega n into square root 1 minus zeta square t plus tan inverse square root 1 minus zeta square upon zeta. If tan inverse square root 1 minus zeta square upon zeta is equal to 0, then Ct becomes 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega n into t upon square root 1 minus zeta square sine of omega n square root 1 minus zeta square t plus theta, and substitute zeta is equal to 0 again. We get Ct is equal to 1 minus sine omega n into t minus theta, or which is equal to CSS plus Ct. So for the system is oscillatory, then oscillating with frequency omega n radian per second. This type of system is called undamped system. The response of system is shown in figure 2.31. So if zeta is equal to 0 or for no damping, system is oscillatory. or it is a sine wave, 1 minus sine wave oscillation type of output is there. It is not exactly sine wave, it is 1 minus sine wave theta. 1 minus sine wave. So 2.31 shows undamped. Now if I integrate all, that is overdamped, critically damped, underdamped and no damp, then on a single graph you will find that there are gradually increasing and oscillating, as well as oscillating and decaying type of response, mixed response we are getting. Based upon damping factor, our system output changes. So for why we are learning the second order system, from this above figures you will find that, above figures, that means from all figures you will find that based upon the damping ratio we can predict behavior of the output system. So where to keep our damping ratio so that we will get immediate response, whether we get immediate response or whether we get oscillatory behavior for the settling, that we will see. The poles for this are different. In first quarter there will be theta is equal to cos inverse theta and poles are imaginary, minus plus j omega and minus j omega for zeta is equal to 0. That poles are given on y-axis. Poles for zeta greater than 1 is given in figure. Poles for 0 to 1 or underdamped oscillation, poles are given. And for critically damped oscillation, poles are given. So when zeta is equal to 0, roots are purely imaginary, system is underdamped, roots are complex conjugate with negative real part, system is underdamped. When zeta is equal to 1, then roots are real, equal and negative. While if zeta is between 1 to infinity, roots are real, equal, unequal and negative. When system is overdamped, we will solve a problem temporarily. For example 2.7, for the system shown in figure 2.33, find closed loop transfer function, damping ratio, natural frequency and output response if input is step input. Under this point, second order system, we will learn first equation, the response of the system. As far as mathematical derivations are concerned, there is no requirement of mathematical equations for overdamped, underdamped or critically damped oscillations. Only we have to mug up the equation omega n square upon omega n s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square, that is cs upon r of s. That equation we have to mug up and compare with this equation. So there will be a problem, a real-time problem like this in a question paper. There will not be any derivation prove that for the underdamped oscillations system output is oscillatory and so. Only we have to draw that and we have to solve a problem on it. So problem may be there in a question paper, keep in mind. Solution: h of s is equal to 1, c of s upon r of s is equal to 10 upon s plus 1 into s plus 2 divided by 1 plus 10 upon s plus 1 into s plus 2, which is equal to 10 upon s square plus 3s plus 12. Compare denominator s square plus 3s plus 12 with standard equation s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. Omega n square is equal to 12, we know. Omega n is equal to square root 12 is equal to 3.46, that means zeta is equal to 0.43 radians per second. calculation of C of t, standard expression of C of t if C of s is equal to omega n square upon s into bracket s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square is C of t is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega n into t divided by square root 1 minus zeta square into sine omega dt plus theta, where theta is equal to tan inverse square root 1 minus zeta square upon zeta radians, and omega d is equal to omega n square root 1 minus zeta square. We will use here equation of underdamped oscillation because zeta is 0.43 radians per second. So underdamped equation we will use. Okay. So C of t is equal to 10 by 12 into bracket 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega n into t upon square root 1 minus zeta square sine omega dt plus 0. Theta is equal to tan inverse square root 1 minus zeta square upon zeta is equal to 1.05 radians. Omega d is equal to omega n into bracket square root 1 minus zeta square, which is equal to 3.12 radian per second. Ct is equal to 10 upon 12 1 minus 1.1 into e raised to minus 1.49 t sine 3.12 t plus 1.05 is a real output. So what is a damping ratio? Natural frequency we came to know, and output response we came to know. If we plot this output response, it will be like underdamped oscillation type of output. Let us see what are the time response specifications of second order system. Second order system time response for the underdamped oscillation is given in figure 2.34. With reference to this figure, we will learn different definitions. There will be a question in a question paper. Define time, rise time, peak time, and so on. This point is very important from this second order system. We will see one by one. The response of second order system is given by Ct is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega n into t divided by square root 1 minus zeta square sine omega dt plus theta. This is for underdamped oscillations. Control systems are generally designed with damping less than 1 because it immediately settles to 1 unity. It immediately settles. That means speed of settling is very high, or there will be less settling time, and there will not be permanent oscillation also. So every system is designed with this critically damped oscillation or critical damping factor, with this underdamped oscillations and underdamped factor. Therefore, the time response of second order system to a step input is damped oscillatory in nature. The nature of response is shown in figure 2.34. It is observed from figure 2.34 that the response has a number of overshoots and undershoots with respect to the final steady state value. This is figure 2.34. Now, why I have mentioned that every majority of the systems are designed using underdamped oscillations. That means how to design underdamped oscillation. Zeta we are considering as between 0 to 1. Means RC time constant. From this zeta, if you go behind that, we will see that in a RC time constant system, we are designing RC with time constant less than 1. Like this. So from that RC time constant, it is designed whether we want critically damped or underdamped or overdamped by taking value of R and C. If we take very less value of R and C, then it will switch from overdamped to underdamped. By reducing again value of R and C, it will automatically switch to critically damped. It will automatically switch to underdamped, and then finally it will switch to no damping, like this, while designing it. Now with reference to this figure 2.34, there will be some definitions that we will learn. Delay time TD, here in this case TD is given as first point 0 to 0.5. If input is 1, then with reference to 1 input 0.5 is 50%, right? Delay time, it is the time required for the response to reach 50% of the final value in the first attempt. It is given by TD is equal to 1.07 zeta upon omega n. You have to mug up this equation because finally we will solve few problems based upon these equations. Derivation may not be there in equation paper. We have to only mug up this equation, that's all, so that we will find out final value. So delay time is what? 0 to 50%, time required to reach up to 50% of maximum. Then rise time, it is the time required for the response of the system from 10% to 90% of the final value of overdamped system. 10% to 90% of overdamped system, and from 0 to 100% of a underdamped system. So you can write any definition. TR, rise time, is from 0 to 90% or 0 to 100% in underdamped. This system is underdamped, so here we are considering 0 to 100%. But if it is an overdamped system, then 10% to 90%. In many standard books you will find definition like 10% to 90%. So TR is equal to pi minus theta upon omega d. Theta is in radians. This is right time. So TR is there. Peak time, it is time required to reach the response to its first peak value, that is time required to reach pursuit TP. So TP is here. TP is given and it is peak time or first peak time. TP is equal to pi upon omega d is equal to pi upon omega n square root 1 minus zeta square. Only mug up this equation, that's all. Peak overshoot MP, peak overshoot MP. MP is given in a figure. It is the difference between the time response peak and the steady state output. If input is unit step, then steady state output generally 1. MP is equal to C of TP minus 1. So MP is equal to E raised to minus pi zeta square root upon square root 1 minus zeta square. It is a error signal normally. So it is always greater than 1, that's why CTP minus 1 is there. Settling time TS, here in a figure settling time is given. It is the time required for the response to reach and stay within a specified tolerance band. Usually 2% to 5% is considered as tolerance band of the steady state error. So Ts is equal to 4 upon zeta omega n. Tolerance band is what? A band acceptable error signal, band of acceptable error signal. It is related to final value. 2% of final value is a tolerance band which is acceptable, right? Steady state error, ESS. In a figure, ESS is given as steady state error, or it is given by, or its definition is, it is the error between actual output and desired output as t tends to infinity. So ESS is equal to limit t tends to infinity R of t minus C of t. All these specifications are mutually dependent. We will see next part in the next lecture. Thank you very much.